Hello everybody and welcome back to Cool Bike Projects. Just wanted to do a quick intro before we start the show. This is a mini documentary that I had a chance to work on over the last month about a really great nonprofit organization in Pocatello, Idaho called Big Brother Lowriding. They're doing some incredible work with the youth down there, teaching kids how to build not only lowrider bicycles, bicycle maintenance, but also how to build character. And I didn't feel like we could do a show like this without giving you guys a chance to help them out in some way. So with the help of one of my YouTube channel partners, bikeflights.com, they're willing to send out a number of bike boxes for anyone that would like to send a bicycle frame or a bunch of bike parts to help out his nonprofit organization. So if you're interested at all in helping out in this way, please feel free to reach out to me on Instagram at coolbikeprojects.com. You can also reach me through my email, rustysbikerepair@mac.com. Otherwise, if you're interested in making a direct donation to Robert at Big Brother Lowriding, we'll leave some information in the description below where you can make a payment through Venmo or PayPal.com. Again, this is a legitimate group doing some incredible work. I myself this last month had a chance to donate some bicycle tools and some parts, and I really believe it's communities like this on YouTube where we can make a big impact on people doing some incredible work. So please enjoy the show, and if you feel like donating or getting involved, feel free to reach out to me. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Robert Wallace. I started the nonprofit organization Big Brother Lowriding to help at-risk youth get off the streets and find a program that could actually give them progression in their life and find other things than might end them down a bad path. When I was younger, I spent some time in the foster care system. I think it gave me an outlook of feeling kind of alone. I never felt like I could belong at a home or friends because it just wasn't promised, you know. And due to being in the foster care system, there was a portion of my life I kind of bounced down the wrong roads and took a path that led to places that was hard to get back from, but gave me experiences in life that made me a tougher person and gave me a better understanding on how, as an adult now, I can help younger kids to break from that life. Me and my brother just sitting down one day and had discussed a young man that I had met that we felt was kind of coming up the same way, and we wanted to figure out a way that we could help those kids feel that they could have something to belong to. And then like the first few weekends of building the bikes together kind of just blossomed.
Yeah, because then I ended up building a sick bike, and then after rebuild the bike.
And so step to step on things I discuss with them, I see they take it in. Whether they have a father figure or they have brothers to look up to, I do see they take it in from me. The moments of teaching them how to turn a wrench or just how life works in general. Our conversations go further than those 3 hours that they spend with me on a weekend. So part of Big Brother Lowriding is to help these young men create their own life skills that can help them in life. I think being in foster care led hand in hand with the bikes, because that was my freedom. One of my older foster brothers had a lowrider bike and it was given to me, and I was intrigued by the style and the look of it that it just set me apart from everybody else, that I knew that I could just put on a pair of headphones and be gone. I had moments where I couldn't focus on things in school, but on a bike I could. I could really find myself intrigued by it, to sit down and pull it all the way apart and put it back together and see that it worked, and that was me that did that. Yeah, there is a culture behind the whole lowrider aspect due to the bikes and the cars. Started up back in the early 60s. The Hispanic culture took the modification of the muscle cars and glorified them by dropping them and putting small wheels on them and shined up the chrome and did the paint jobs so they stood out. Same thing with the bikes. The younger kids in the neighborhoods, they couldn't have the cars. They'd be able to take what would look like a regular twin Stingray, then they'd drop it, modify it, stretch it out, put smaller wheels on it, and change the paint, which would change up what would normally be to somebody just a regular bike. Now it's been changed up into something that is like fancy and stands out and gets your attention when you ride down the street. On a lowrider bike, everything you switch up on it changes the ride. The height level you put on things, or if you set your handlebars out further, there's a different enjoyment to it. It's because you get to change up something that was original and to add something to it, to take a pair of forks and rake them out and bend them, to cut a frame up and be able to learn how to weld something, and then you see your own kind of fabrication or your custom build come to life. It's a little bit different than just riding somebody's already built bike, you know? So I feel like the depiction of what we look like when we roll up on a bike and how we're dressed and stuff from a distance, it does look like we're probably up to no good or might be the troublemaker kids out of the bunch. But when we explain what we do, you realize that we're very humble people and it's further than the look. And I think it helps the kids because in some situations, they might right away get deterred that they got judged like that, you know? But then when they have the conversation with somebody, it changes for both people. The person that did the judging and the person being judged, they just both had a real conversation that changed that aspect. And that might only change for just them at the moment, but it does go further. The person that felt bad about it might have that conversation with their wife or husband and children and see that same kid riding down the street and explain that to them. A kid might say the same thing to their family. They felt judged and now they don't, because they were able to explain what they do in the community and the good they do and how it changed that person's outlook on what we look like.
He will not be able to ride.
When I think of these young men, I hope that they can become productive citizens to society and business owners of their own, or find a hard-working job that they can become adults and have children and build lives and be able to know that they are able to prosper and have something of their own. Taking the tools from what I teach them and becoming good men. If they choose to do small things like what I do, great for them, but if they can move on and become something great in life, then that's what I hope for. I think that's the biggest thing behind it is why I even do it, is because I love seeing something that you might picture getting left to rot. When I can bring it back to life, when somebody looks at it like, wow, man, this is beautiful, like, how'd you do this? I know that when they look at that was me, you know? Like, I see the acceptance of what I have felt always voided in me, you know? Like, I'm getting that from the acknowledgement of what I've built. And I don't think I get that a whole lot from what I look like or things I've done in my past. So the smallness that might be to somebody else is a very big thing to me when I see somebody accept the small things I've done to the bike that stand out. For Big Brother Lowriding in the future, my dreams are to have a shop opened here in Pocatello, Idaho on Main Street, a local business with a storefront, big glass windows, and having retro Stingrays that have been refurbished and brought back to life hanging in the window alongside with my lowrider bikes, and a banner that says Big Brother Lowriding, and it shows that I've been from this point to this point working with the youth and the things I do, so people can come and see that what I have chose to do for the last maybe 10, 15 years has actually blossomed into a business and a lifelong goal for me. With some of these young men that are in the club, I have one specifically that's kind of a goal for him too. He pictures 5 years from now going off and learning welding and then coming back and wanting to work in the shop with me. And he would love to picture, he wakes up and goes to that shop with me, and we turn on the lights together, and we get to bring people in and work on those bikes for people. And we get to see people walk out with a smile from our shop, and people talk about where you can go to get their bikes built, and it is Big Brother Lowriding.